Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we start the round of 12 for the Monster Energy Cup Series playoffs. There, as you see, we come in second in points in this round, 16 points to the good, so we're in pretty decent shape. Starting this round, as you see, Logano, Boyer, Johnson, and Denny Hamlin all outside looking into that round of 8 as we get ready to start Dover here today. So hopefully we can have a solid few races here to put ourselves well inside the round of 8 and not have to worry going into Kansas now. As we come through into Dover, it was a cutoff race in the Xfinity Series for the first round, as we had Harrison Burton, of course, in the car. If he gets eliminated from the playoffs, then we will obviously have other drivers in the car before the end of the season. But as long as Harrison is still in the championship battle, he will be in the car right until he gets eliminated now. As he came through on the midway point of this race, he was still running about in the 10th position or so as he makes a move up the inside there of Spencer Gallagher, moves up into P8 as he came down the back straightaway. But as he came through towards the end of this race, he made a big mistake and got loose and hit the wall and got hit from behind. Around he would go, and this would completely change the whole season for our team with Harrison Burton, as he would crash out of this race and unfortunately finish in the 40th position here in Dover, which would unfortunately take our team completely out of the playoffs. We came into this race, I think Burton was about 16 or so points to the good, and he ends up missing it by 11 points after that incident, unfortunately. So certainly unfortunate for us to go out early in the playoffs here in Dover, but now we have to focus on the Cup Series race here in Dover, a chance to get a good points gap over the guys behind us so we don't have to worry here in this round of 12, and we can comfortably get into the round of 8 now as we come through on our qualifying lap, coming down through turns 3 and turns 4. We usually qualify in about the top 5 or so, but it was a little bit different this time as we come down the front straightaway. Not as good as usual, as we'll get a 22.896, and we will start in the 8th position, which is still a good qualifying effort, so hopefully we can gain a few more positions and have a chance to fight for victory here in Dover for the first race of the round of 12.
Today, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series playoffs picks up in Dover, Delaware. This race marks the beginning of the round of 12 after 4 drivers were eliminated in Charlotte last week. If those remaining 12 wish to move on, they'll have to conquer the formidable Monster Mile, a concrete oval with 24 degrees of banking in the turns and 9 degrees of banking in the straights. The drivers are ready. Miles the Monster is ready. So pull up a chair. NASCAR playoff racing is coming up next.
All right, we're ready to go green here for the race in Dover. Kyle Busch there on the pole with Kevin Harvick on the outside, front row, as we are ready to go green with Ryan Newman. An engine change after qualifying, so he will be starting at the back, and those are your only notes coming in to this event here in Dover. Up ahead, you see Jimmy Johnson with another strong qualifying run here in Dover as we're ready to go green now as the green flag waves, and we are underway to start the round of 12. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick lead the front row down towards turns 1 for the first time here today in Dover. Now as we sit P8 there, as you see Logano and Larson battle side by side on that second row. Johnson and Almirola on row 3 as we come through out of turn 2 side by side with our Joe Gibbs Racing teammate for another handful of races or so, Martin Truex Jr., as we go down into turns 3. Now Kyle Busch easily out to a lead, and Joey Logano moves into P2 as he gets clear of Kevin Harvick as we come through to complete this first lap here in Dover. Now as we head down into turns 1, once again our teammate Denny Hamlin behind us on the outside looking in coming into this round, just like he was on the outside looking in early in the first round. He managed to get to the round of 12, and now he wants to fight his way into the round of 8. Now as we get down in front of our teammate of Hamlin and just about look to the inside of our teammate of Truex Jr. there as we came through the center of the corner. And we would be able to get past Martin Truex Jr. and Eric Almirola, and we would work our way up to the 6th position now on lap 10, passing Chase Elliott on the outside as we had gotten to Kyle Larson and Jimmy Johnson. And Johnson seemed to be lacking speed as we were just kind of held up behind him, but as soon as Kyle Larson was able to get past Jimmy Johnson, I would come through and pretty much blow right on past 48 as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2 side by side with the 7-time champ. As we come out of turn 2, though, we would be able to edge out the 48 as we came down the straightaway and get clear of Johnson as we went down into turn 3. And Johnson was really holding up a whole line of cars. As you see, they're all stuck behind him. And as we came through now on lap 16, we had pulling away from Jimmy Johnson and the cars behind him, and it obviously stuck with the 42 of Kyle Larson trying to pass him, but it was really hard to get past the 42 of Larson as I was trying to make it work on the outside because I couldn't really build up a run and then look to his inside, so I was pretty much forced at this point in the run to try and make the outside work, and unfortunately it just wasn't happening as I pretty much got stuck behind Larson. I couldn't really do anything with the car as we came through now to 2 to go in this first stage, still right behind the 42 of Kyle Larson now to come down the back straightaway, trying to find a way past the 42 as we head down towards turn 3. The front runners have started to work their way through lap traffic now as we come through turns 3 and turns 4, approaching the final lap now in this first stage. Larson trying to hold on to P4 as we are trying to take that away from him as we send it up his outside in turns 1 and 2, and I push a little wide, allowing Larson to stay clear now as we come down the back straightaway for the final time in this first stage here in Dover now as we go down into turn 3, sending it in a little bit deeper as it's not going to really work out in my favor now as we come out of turn 4. Larson holds on to the 4th position as we come across the line to get P5 in the first stage, so certainly a solid start as Kyle Busch does win stage 1 to pick up a playoff 1 as he is looking like once again a clear favorite to make it to the final 4 here this season, as we would come to pit road to take 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, and we would come out just where we came in here in P5. And we would be ready to start on the inside line, so obviously the inside much better than the outside, so this is going to work out hopefully in our favor as the green flag is back out and stage 2 is underway. Kyle Busch, Harvick still on your front row, Logano and Larson now row 2 as we battle side by side with the 9 of Chase Elliott as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2. Truex right on my back bumper with Denny Hamlin on his back bumper as we have all JGR cars right now inside the top 10 as we come down the back straightaway, heading down towards turn 3, looking to the inside just about of Larson, but he's able to get down just in front of me as we come through the center of the corner. We certainly seem to be showing a good amount of speed in the car right now as we head down towards turns 1, trying to make that outside work as it didn't really go as much or as well as I had planned now as we come through turns 2, allowing Truex to look to my inside as we come down the back straightaway behind Harvick as we head down into turn 3. I get out of the throttle just for a moment just so I can get down behind Truex and get back to the inside, and immediately we get to the inside of Harvick and come through out of turns 4, getting ourselves back up inside of the top 5 as we hit 25 to go in this second stage as we come through turns 1 and turns 2. Kyle Busch first, Joey Logano second, and Kyle Larson round out the top 3 at this point in the second stage as we would now look to the inside of Truex as we build up enough of a run going down into turn 3 to be able to make a move to the inside of our JGR teammate Martin Truex Jr. as we try to retake that 4th position as we battle side by side down the front straightaway, heading down into turns 1. We would be able to get ahead of Truex and take over P4 here in stage 2, and as we would continue now to lap 12 of stage 2 behind Kyle Larson as we were once again stuck behind him. The caution would end up coming out and we would not have to pit, so obviously we would stay out and get ready to restart from P4. And this would put us towards about the halfway point or so in this second stage as Kyle Busch continues to lead here in Dover as we're ready to go green once again as the green flag flies, and we are back underway here in Dover behind the 22 of Joey Logano. Obviously not in the preferred lane for a restart as we hit 13 to go in this second stage. Chase Elliott just behind me there in that 6th position or so as we come out of turn 2 side by side with our teammate still of Martin Truex Jr. as we go down the back straightaway. Larson trying to take over that 2nd position. Obviously Larson no stranger to 2nd, myself no stranger to 2nd as we finished 2nd so many times in this career mode. Now as we get into the back bumper of Logano there as we come out of turn 4, unsettling the car just a bit now as we get down into the inside lane, and as we came through now on lap 22, we had passed Joey Logano using this inside line now, sitting behind Truex here, and P4 as the caution would come out once again late in stage 2, and this would set us up for a 2-lap dash to end the second stage with Busch and Larson on the front row now as the green flag is out once again, and we are back green with 2 to go in the second stage. And obviously I'm going to try to push Larson out front, even though Kyle Busch is my teammate. We're going to do everything we can to push Kyle Larson towards the lead. Obviously Larson and Daniel Suarez are my favorite drivers, so I'm going to do everything I can to help them over a driver like Kyle Busch now as we come down the back straightaway, hitting the white flag once we cross the line as we head down into turn 3 side by side with Truex as he is able to get clear and look to the inside of Kyle Larson as we come down out of turn 4 through to the front straightaway. Across the line, the white flag is in the air for stage 2. Kyle Busch looking to sweep the first 2 stages here in the first race of the round of 12. Now as we come out of turn 2, Harvick looking to the inside of the 42 now as we're going to stick it up the inside of Larson. 3 wide in the middle between him and Harvick. Now as we go into turn 3, Harvick moves up the track and we make contact. And sideways the 4 of Harvick goes, and that certainly costs me a good group of positions as we come down the front straightaway. We would fall to P8 in the second stage. Certainly giving up a handful of points right there, which could end up being key in making this round of 8. You never know. Now, as Kyle Busch won the stage, getting a playoff point, we would pit for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, and 7 cars stayed out. So obviously, we just shifted back 7 positions with the rest of the field, who all shifted back just like me. Now as we get ready to start this final stage, David Reagan leads the way now as the green flag is on. The final stage is underway. Hopefully we don't run into any more trouble here in this final stage with 38 laps to go, as Daniel Suarez sits behind me there in the 41 Haas Mustang now as we come through turns 1 and turns 2. Kurt Busch on my outside as we come down the back straightaway. This is the round Kurt Busch got eliminated in last season after he was involved in the big one in Talladega, and that took him out of the playoffs. As we come through turns 3 and turns 4, is looking to the inside now of Clint DeBoyer as we come through down the front straightaway to complete this first lap here in this third and final stage as we head down into turns 1. Newman and Reagan side by side currently for the lead. We know they're not going to hold on to the lead for long. Once we all start passing these slower cars, we're going to be able to migrate up towards the lead as we head down into turn 3. Just kind of playing it safer now, making sure I don't get into an incident as we come through out of turn 4 down the front straightaway side by side with the 22 now of Joey Logano as we head down into turns 1. He's going to slide down just in front of me, but we stick our nose up the inside anyways as we go 3 wide with him and Kevin Harvick now as we come out of turn 2, just about making contact with the 22 of Logano as he gets clear as we go down into turn 3. And we would get up to P12, and I would move my way up towards the outside lane. By the time we came to just a few laps later on lap 67, we had got passed by Kurt Busch, but you see just how big of a run we have on the back of Joey Logano. There's still some slow cars really getting in the way at this point as we come through. Now looking to the inside of Logano, making a 3 wide as we go 3 wide in front of us as we hit the 22 of Logano as we go down towards turns 3. And we're going to stay 3 wide as we come through the center of the corner. On the inside of Logano, we do get clear as we come out of turn 4 on the back of Elliott now, trying to give him a shot to the bumper as we head down into turns 1 with 32 to go. Logano sends it up the inside as we go through the center of the corner. 3 wide again, and Logano hits me in the left rear. And sideways we go, but we hang on to it pretty easily. And Denny Hamlin comes through now and puts me into the wall twice as we come through down into turn 3. That would damage the right side, of course, and put us behind, but we would run them back down pretty quickly. As we came to lap 73 on the back of Denny Hamlin, who just put us in the wall a few laps ago, as we make a 3 wide with him and Blaney as we go down into turn 3, getting hit in the left rear by Blaney, sending me up the track now into Hamlin just about. Now we make more contact with Blaney, and this time we hit the wall again now as we come down the front straightaway and continuing to run into issues here in this final stage as we have had nothing but problems in the final stage here. And as we came to lap 77, once again rallying my way back forward to run down Denny Hamlin again as we're giving him a few shots to the bumper, letting him know I didn't appreciate what happened earlier as he doored me into the wall after making contact with Joey Logano. But surprisingly enough, we still had the pace in this car to get towards a top 10 position as we came through on lap 85, moving our way up to P9. I was certainly unhappy with Ryan Blaney as well because he has run into me many times this season, and as we came to lap 87, I felt like we had to let it be known that we aren't going to take it anymore. As we go down into turns 1, we're going to hit the 12 in the back bumper and get him sideways. I didn't really need to wreck him. I just punted him out of the way. We got down in front of him and took over the position, making it known that we're unhappy with how he's raced us throughout this season there, as it wasn't a whole lot of his fault there with that incident recently, but we still decided to let it be known. And as we were approaching just 2 laps ago, we were just still in the 6th position, just in front of Ryan Blaney after we had passed David Reagan. It was just me and Blaney running near each other for the rest of this 10-lap stretch or so. So really nothing had happened. We came down the back straightaway just really nursing the car home at this point. As the leaders, though, they had run in to lap traffic. As we're approaching now the final lap, Blaney, he's able to look to my inside, though, as we come into turn 4, and we paid him back a little bit, obviously. So we're going to race him clean coming down on this final lap here, down into turns 1 and turns 2. Now we might give him a little shot to the bumper as we go down towards turn 3. Now out of turn 2, Blaney holding on to that 6th position as we come down the back straightaway. He got eliminated last round in the playoffs after blowing an engine as we give him a little bit of a shot to the bumper, but it's not going to matter as we come through out of turns 4. We're going to come through to rally our way back to a 7th place finish in Dover. which was a pretty solid rally back. We had a lot of issues to start this final stage here in Dover. So certainly some problems to start the round of 12, but we were able to rally our way back at least to finish 7th, but hopefully we don't have these issues in the next one, as Kurt Busch actually won the race, as you saw for a brief moment there on the finishing order, as Logano got 2nd, Truex 3rd, and Kyle Larson got P4. So Kurt Busch now locked into the round of 8. He got eliminated in the last season in this round, but obviously he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. And it says we're 11 to the good, but the reality is we're almost 30 points to the good, because the first car out, Clint Bowyer's 18 points out. So we're almost 30 points in reality to the good. Jimmy Johnson, he's already pretty much in a must-win situation if he can't figure something out in Talladega. So Keselowski, Denny Hamlin in similar situations. So they got some work to do here going into the next episode at Talladega. Denny Hamlin, I would apologize to him. I should have really provoked him in that situation. Kyle Larson, we apologize to him. Ryan Blaney, I'm not going to apologize to him. We provoke him in that message there. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be incredibly appreciated. Getting close to 900 subscribers right now, so I'd like to thank you all for being here, a part of this community, and continuing to support this channel. I appreciate you all, and in the next one, like I said, going to Talladega for the middle race of the round of 12. Hopefully we can have a strong run there and not have to worry about running into trouble, but you never know, the big one could strike. It happened last season when Kurt Busch ended up getting eliminated due to the big one happening, so we'll see what happens going into Talladega. As once again, you see the playoff grid there, as we're almost in reality 30 points to the good, so we're in a comfortable position. So I will see you guys in the next episode for Talladega. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.